building a career in hospitality, or it's just like a 6 months, 1 year thing that you're trying to get into to, I don't know, get out of a tight spot economically, for example, or whatever. I think that there's a lot to learn, and the key aspect to being able to get as much as possible of that experience and take the best out of that experience is being definitely proactive.
Hello, hello. Welcome to Oysterlink, and thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having us, Matthew.
So, could you please introduce yourselves and tell us a bit about your career paths?
Well, my name is Marcos. I'm from Argentina. I came here to the US, to Miami, about a little bit over 3 years ago. I do come from a completely different business. I'm a psychologist back in Argentina. I had a little bit of experience in terms of hospitality and F&B back at home, mostly when I was younger, some seasonal jobs and such. And I came over here. I worked for a few hospitality companies in this last couple of years, managed some restaurants in Miami Beach, and eventually, alongside with Leandro, here we came across this beautiful location, and we opened up Conventillo bar here in Little River District about 6 months ago. It's kind of all of my journey back home all the way up to now.
And what got you interested in hospitality? From being a psychologist to hospitality, what got you interested in this industry?
So I think that there's a lot of correlation between both of them, definitely. I've always loved creating experiences, hosting people in general for different events. I think that hospitality is still a business that is mostly based on bringing people together, sharing experiences, connecting. And I think that there's a lot of psychology involved in that as well. And I think that there's a lot of that that we put into this concept in particular as well here.
And Alejandro, I haven't heard from you.
Yes, my name is Leandro. Same as Marcos, from Argentina. Myself came to Miami 2021. We first opened a wine bar in Wynwood, and then we found this location and opened this bar. Hospitality I've been doing this for about almost 10 years, and super excited about this new location that we have just opened in March of this year, which is 2025.
So may I ask you, what's the concept behind this new place that you opened? I saw that on your Instagram, it says the neighborhood cocktail bar. So what's the concept? What's the story behind it?
The bar name is Conventillo. Very, very important, the name itself, because it's what's been driving the concept all the way through, the aesthetic aspect of it, to the kind of experience that we wanna showcase and we wanna create here. Conventillos, actually, direct translation to English is tenements. They came to be in Buenos Aires when war broke out in Europe. Actually, at the beginning of the previous century, there was how a little bit of history background of how they came to be. There was a massive influx of Italians, Germans, people from Spain as well, and several countries in Europe that were of course, unfortunately, fleeing that situation. And a lot of them came to South America. And the Italian community in particular, they came to Buenos Aires, a big part of it, which is where we're both from. And they actually occupied, at that time, nun convents that have been abandoned like 50 years earlier, right? That's kind of where Conventillo comes from. And it's those buildings in particular, they had some very distinctive characteristics. They were like U-shaped buildings, about like just 2 or 3 stories high, with a patio in the center. And there was literally like an entire family living in each room, right? So nobody wanted to spend the whole of the day like mashed up between 6 or 7 brothers and sisters in a single room. So everybody was constantly out in the patios, right? And in that merging and meeting of different nationalities and cultures, a lot of the Argentinian culture was born there. Like tango, for example, as a music genre, was born in the patios of the conventillos. that's kind of why we also host live tango here and tango lessons every other Tuesday. And we really think that, Miami in some sort of way is a lot like a conventillo, a melting pot of different cultures and people from everywhere that come here seeking for new opportunities, and people that are very, very curious about meeting people from all around the world. So that's kind of what's been the driving concept behind everything that we built.
Now that you mentioned the tango nights, I have to ask about the events, because I noticed that you host a lot of different events and you host bars at your place. So can you also tell me about that? What kind of activities? And
our objective is to be a neighborhood bar here in Miami and build community around it. And the way we're doing that is by inviting and collaborating with other bars from the area. Miami's food and hospitality scene is growing rapidly and changing at a very fast pace. And, we feel that we're in that place where other bars are opening. So there's a lot to be done in that sense. Regarding events, our venue, it's super comfortable and very open and a very good spot to host private events, social or corporate. And 6 months already 10 months after opening, we have been very active in that sense, collaborating with other operators, hosting social events and corporate events.
nice. And this, I assume it takes a lot of staffing. So what kind of staffing challenges do you face?
As owner operators, and to have a solid proof of concept, when we opened the bar, we are still very much hands on deck, running the bar, running the floor. And, thank God the concept has been quite successful so far. So we are at a point now where we are still going to be very much present, but looking to incorporate front of the house and bartenders coming to the season and early next year.
Like, how many team members do you have right now?
Right now, we are down to 7 team members, 9 including us, and we are at a point now that we're looking to expand. We can feel every single day of the week getting busier and the season being upon us. So we're looking to incorporate, between front and back of the house, about 3 or 4 more people.
Nice. Then let me ask you this, and I would like to hear your perspectives, both of you. What are some of the red flags and the green flags that you look for in a potential candidate? For those job seekers listening to this and interested in applying.
So we are, as I mentioned, being between 7 and 9, we're a small team. So, an excellent working environment and team collaboration is key. Having the predisposition to occupy different roles and being able to support teammates in various, areas and aspects of the daily operations. For that, like a very team-oriented attitude in general is for us is very, very important. It's a space that gets pretty packed and pretty busy, especially during the weekend. So we're looking for somebody that can, evolve and manage themselves in a very fast-paced environment, for sure. And we are a space that, as Leandro mentioned, we're a neighborhood bar. We are very, very much, targeted towards the local communities, regulars especially. So somebody that can build and has the personality to build that kind of relationship with our regular clients. Along with the aesthetics and the concept in general, we're looking to create a space that feels comfortable and homey, and the service aspect of it plays a very, very big role. So being able to connect on a daily basis with customers is really, really important for us.
Nice. And Alejandro, anything to add?
I think Marcos summed up very well. And being owners operator, we are looking for people who want to learn, that can just come and be part of this team that we have set up. Have attention to detail, but most importantly, and we have been pretty successful in that. We have one of our staff members had his own bar back in the day, but they all are humble enough to come and learn the ways we want to run our shop. So those are some of the values and the skills that we're looking for.
Nice. And may I ask you, what's your advice for someone looking for their first job in a restaurant in Miami today?
Oof.
You said you've been here since 2021, right? So if someone is, just entering this industry, they're looking for their first job. What's your advice?
Well, if first of all, to be very honest with themselves and understand if they're looking for this just as a job to make money and paying their bills, or they really want a career in this industry. If they want a career in this industry, which is the second case, then look for those local businesses and local operators, that there are a lot of them that do things right, that target the locals and not so much the tourist areas of the city, because they will learn better and they will be able to evolve a career and have the network they need to grow within this industry. If it's someone that is just looking for pay their bills, then look for the one restaurant that it's rightly located and it's gonna be selling a lot during the season, and then move on to the next.
That's good advice. And Marcus, what about you? What's your top advice?
I think that a key aspect in this business in general for anybody entering it, either being a seasoned person within the industry or just starting out, is being very, very proactive. Hospitality industry in general has a lot to teach about a lot of aspects. A lot. Like sales, how to deal with customers in general. How to attention to detail. How to be able to keep a fast pace and find solutions on the spot for a lot of things. So I think that either if you're entering it as a picturing yourself like building a career in hospitality, or it's just like a 6 months, 1 year thing that you're trying to get into to, I don't know, get out of a tight spot economically, for example, or whatever. I think that there's a lot to learn. And the key aspect to being able to get as much as possible of that experience and take the best out of that experience is being definitely proactive.
Nice. And I know that it's still too early to ask, but I have to ask it. So, what's your future plans? I mean, what do you have down the road? I know you're just starting here, but again, what about, for example, your plans for the next 3 years? What do you have in mind?
Um, so we are always very with our eyes and ears wide open to find new spots, like new opportunities such as the ones that we found here. But I think that in the thinking midterm in terms of time, definitely like building this into a great neighborhood spot that's gonna be able to just 10 years from now we're still gonna be able to say, okay, Conventillo is still the place to be and an amazing place, an amazing bar to be, and it's where I met this and that person, or I had this and that experience. And when it comes to being a little bit more specific about the concept itself, is being able to build a reputation as a place in which you always have an amazing experience musically. Being able to have new artists here from Miami that are trying to showcase their music, to find in Conventillo a place to be able to reach out to a larger audience, DJs from around the world and locals being able and listening about us and hearing about us and actually wanted to be a part of the space. I think that that's a big part of what we're trying to build onto the future.
Thank you. This is amazing, and I wish you all the best. And I hope that anyone in our network who's interested in entering this career would benefit from these advice, or at least, for example, try to show up at your door. And what I have to ask this, since we mentioned it, what do you think of those who would just show up somewhere and apply? What do you think of that attitude? Knocking on the door, going inside, applying for a job at a restaurant. Are you one of those people who would encourage that or not?
I would. I have mad respect for that. Obviously, I've been that person. I think it takes, especially nowadays with all the new platforms and all the new technologies that we have for finding new jobs. I think people got used to that and do it from the comfort of their homes. So someone that actually leaves their house and knocks on doors, it has better, to me, it has a better chance of getting it. And then it also, if they have to do with respect, of course, and understand. If they just come in and in the middle of the shift and they want to get an interview there and
Yep.
then obviously there doesn't really matter if they left their home or not, because it's just like completely out of space. But I have more respect for those who, in this industry specific, that it's so fast paced, that come and show up to request for an interview or to fill out an application.
Thank you so much. Thank you.